All right. Sorry it took me so long. I got locked outside. I called Keith and he was at home. So anyway, I've been proctoring the AP Literature exam for hours today, for like 5 hours. So I haven't been back long. I was not going to not do this for y'all. This was my sole goal for the day was to do this. So you're welcome. All right. So last week we did Google Classroom. I'm going to kind of use that. And if you joined it last week, you'll still be in it. So because I haven't done anything to it. But I'll be using that a little bit, but I'm going to be kind of focusing on forms today because I think there was some questions about forms that were pretty good. So I played around with it earlier because I know a good bit about forms. I know everything about forms, but I know the stuff that teachers would want to use, but I didn't really create a lot of stuff because I was going to kind of show you how to do that here because it's kind of, I can say, okay, make a Google Classroom, it's not that hard, but making forms can kind of be tricky, so, yes?
Is there anything you need to catch us up on, those of us that were not here? That we can get in real quick? I mean,
yep. Okay, so what you'll do is
okay.
Go to your Google Apps.
Okay.
And then you go to Classroom.
Yeah.
And then I want you to join this group. It says DMS Training, and let me get the code for that.
It's right there on the board. Letter A.
Join
That's the O, not a 0. H-O.
Yeah, and you'll join the class. It's the same. So you'll go up to where it says.
Got it. Join class.
It says join or add or something.
You know what? And I don't know that it may have been something in my room, but when I had some that were not here today, I used my code. I had to recreate a code. A new code.
Yeah, like, let me look at it.
I don't know that it'll be that way for them.
Just working over
Do what?
I just read it over.
You're good. I had a problem in the past when I was teaching where I would have kids, like, they would invite their friends to join the group just so they could be in there, and I had kids that weren't on my roll in there. So what I did is I would just, like, once I knew everybody was in the group, I would disable it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then if a new kid comes in or something, all you do is come back to here and you hit enable, and it's probably going to give you a different code than it did. So if you're joining, did everybody get joined that needed to join? Because we got different codes on
Yes.
teacher. So that's what I would do. But anyway, so is everybody in there?
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be kind of the platform I use to post some things.
Okay.
Okay. So what you do is you go to your Google Apps, go to Forms, and it will look like this. Now I've got some, this part is where I've been messing around. But and there's a lot you can do with Forms. So pretty much what Forms does, Form is, it is a way to gather information from people, and it pulls all that information together, and then you can use that data. All right, you can put it in a database, you can just look at whatever you need to do. There's a lot of options you can do with it. So the most common way that I've used it is for like a test or an assessment or a quiz. All right, and if you remember from last week, you remember the wrestling quiz we took that Isabel made $100. Is that right?
No, it was Miss Dove.
Miss Dove made $100 on it. Gotta love a woman that loves wrestling. You know what I mean? Anyway, at least my wife says she does. Okay, so what you'll do. Now there's different ways to do this. You can use a blank or you can go through the templates. And the templates are pretty good. They have an assessment template. I'll click on that real quick just to show you. Now, actually let's start with the blank first. It'll make more sense if I do that. So let's start with the blank. Okay, so untitled form, and I'm not going to make it, I'm just going to show you how to do some stuff. And then obviously you can go from there. So let's just say history test. Let's say I'm a history teacher and I'm teaching, I don't know, 11th grade. And I'm on chapter 11, World War II. So when I would do this, this is your form. Okay, so I would put like history test or chapter 11 history test, whatever you put up here is, this is gonna be your title. And so when you go to your group of forms, it'll all be on there, it'll be easier to identify, and I'll show that in a second. So what you'll do, okay, so untitled question. So these aren't numbered. Like on a regular test, how you got 1 through 20 or whatever, and they're all numbered. Okay, so on this, it's not really like that. They're not numbered. They're just questions. Okay, and you can do with those questions what you want. If there's options on here to shuffle the questions, which is why they're not numbered. So you could actually, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But you can shuffle them so everybody when they log in, their tests are obviously in different spots. Or you can just do it straight, however you want to. Okay, so untitled question. Give me something. Anybody?
Who won the Civil War?
Who won?
World War II.
Okay, I'm not a very good teacher.
Oh, well. I didn't see that.
This is going to be a multiple choice question. The type of question is here. Okay?
Was this war before the Civil War or after?
Just
How about that?
roll with it. So, you see here at the tops. Short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, drop downs. So we're going to go multiple choice. So option 1, north. So we'll go to the second line. South.
Stonewall.
East. West. Okay, so now also look here. If you wanted, so let's say on here, I don't know, we can do it. So this is our question. Let me do another one. There's so much you can do. So this is our question. I'm done with this question. All I come over here and do is go to add question. Now on the second question. Right? So you can even do this. Who is this? And so you can put names here. And then over here, where there's a little image file, you can click, and you can actually put images here. So you can have, who is this? And you can have pictures of people on there. So that makes, or you can say, who is, let's go back to World War II. Who is FDR? So you need to put a picture here of FDR, and I'll show you. So I can go Google, I was already there, so FDR, images. Let's do this one. Let's see if this will work. I don't know if this will work. Let me see. Go to URL. That's not working. So what I would do for this one, wrong one. I would save this picture. I'm just going to go on the desktop. We go back to forms. Here, upload, choose. And that's what it'll look like. And you can obviously do more. Right? So let's do a new question. So, and think about, remember this too. So if we do multiple choices, you remember last week when we took the wrestling test and you submitted answers and you turned it in and it automatically graded, right? Okay, so if you do multiple choice, you can automatically grade it. If you do other kinds of questions, such as short answer, paragraph, whatever else, you'll have to actually grade that. So you can't get an instant grade on that. Does that make sense? Now there is a way you can do like, I don't know, say, who is the dictator of Italy during World War II? Mussolini. Well, you can actually make Mussolini a short answer, but they'll have to type Mussolini in there exactly right. If they misspell it, it'll be wrong. Make sense? Now, if it was me, when I did this, I gave them strictly multiple choice questions because computer grades it, all right? If I had short answer, I would make a separate short answer one with like 1 or 2 or 3 essays or whatever, and send that to them, and then grade that on my own later. That way it's not split. Y'all follow me? Okay. So let me look at this. So this test builds as you do it. You can also come up here and change the colors or whatever. Let's do red.
So then you come here to preview. This is what your test looks like so far. Right? Now, let's say I'm done. This is my test. Oh, and by the way, you can also, let's say I want this question second. You come here, you can drag it, and change the orders. Okay, now this is a separate question. I want to take this off by deleting. So now if we go to preview, like this. Now I've got this option, that means I've got another question, so I'm going to take it off here. Now that's on. Okay. Let me look at this real quick. So let me remember how to put the grades in. But you can also have video, like 30-second clip or something. What's going on here? I can answer that. However you do that. But you put the YouTube URL.
We all need to make them buy earbuds next year. Don't you think? Good school supply.
Okay, so let's say you're gonna. This is gonna be your test. There's different ways to do this. So with middle school, if I was y'all, what I would do is I would make sure my kids knew their school email and their password. That way, so when they sign in with that Marshall K-12, so this is all this is on the Marshall County Schools domain. So you can restrict this to Marshall County users, limit to one response. That means if somebody takes it, they can't take it again. Which sounds good, but you'll learn if you do this. Sometimes a kid will do it and get halfway through and accidentally submit it and they can't finish it. So what you'll have to do is, if that happens, I'll let everybody take it, and then I would go back, click this off, and let them have another shot at it. That's how I would do it. However you want to do it. You can also do collect email addresses. So let's say I send them this test, and they sign in and take it. I don't know who's taking it unless I either collect their email address, or let's say you're not doing this. When I taught high school, I had kids that didn't know their school email, and it would have taken me 20 minutes to find it. And so what I did is I would just click off this box. But what I did, this is something, I'm just showing stuff. Add a question. I would do this. What is your name? And I would make this a short answer. So that this is an actual test question. And they have to put their name in, and that would catch it on the data sheet. Does that make sense? Okay. But that's just, just for you to see. So I'm going to take this one off. If I come here to delete. How did I put that? Okay, so I'll find that in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this. So you go to send. Now you can do it different ways. You can email it to somebody. So you can come here and put, somebody's name in and send it to them individually in their email. But if you've got Google Classroom page, what I would do is I would come here. Where this little paper clip is. This is a link to your unique form. I would do a copy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go to training, and I'm going to go to. You can do create announcement or assignment. I want to go to announcement since this is not. This is a test. Well, I guess I can do assignments. So I'll put practice test. Due date is today. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to Control V that link in, and add link. And then we'll hit assign. Refresh that. So when you go to your, when you go to the Google Classroom page, it's like if I'm teaching my class, I say, so go to your Google Classroom page and take the test. So when they log in, they've got this, they click there, and now they're taking the exam. Does that make sense? Okay. So go to Google Classroom right now and just answer this. One of them doesn't have an answer, so but
Hey,
the other
where do
one
you
does.
put the key in?
Do what?
Use the key.
What key?
To get it to, for the test.
I remember.
As you're doing it, as you make them,
Like usually you answer it, don't you? Like, you have like a box for the correct answer and then 3 alternatives.
Yeah, and I'm not remembering where it is right
it's,
now. So let's do this.
I've made one, but I can't think.
It's just a skip in for you. Answer key. Where's the day at?
Never mind, you were wrong, you asked a question.
I did it the other day, and now I'm just blank. Hey, let me say this too. I forgot about this. So let's say right here, who won the Civil War? If you go to duplicate, do the same question. So if you've got like a list of that, like let's say, who is this? And you've got a set of 4, and then you can come here and say, who lost the Civil War? And you can make that question too.
Click on it, click like close to where it says south or something like that.
The one that he just.
Just click somewhere
Go
close
to the
it.
side.
Well, no, just click out, that right there, and then go down.
To where?
But I made one that,
Go back to 3 dots.
mine came up and it popped up in green at the bottom that said answer key.
I'm not seeing it. Are y'all seeing it or am I just missing it?
Maybe it's because I put it.
So what I can do is I go to responses. Okay, so let's say that this wasn't a test, and this is just, okay, so let's say we're voting for homecoming queen or something, and I've got, okay, who do you vote for? And I've got 3 or 4 names.
Oh, wow.
Well, if they vote, then you can get the percentages here. Since I don't have correct answers on there, this is technically just gathering, it's like a survey. So you can see the pie charts here, okay? Does that make sense? Now, if you go here to create spreadsheet, I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. What it'll do is it'll link the data from what we just did to a spreadsheet. And so you can see that here. Okay. Now, if I'd have done, I've got a lag right now. Now, if I'd have done collect the email originally when I did it, then it would have the email addresses on the side here. Right? So if I was grading, what I would do is I'd have my grade book, and I would either have the emails showing up for when somebody submitted, or I would have the spot says, what is your name? And I would know whose it is, and I could record grades like that. Does that make sense? Okay. And I don't know, last week when I did the form, what it did is it had a box and it said, do an answer key, and you just go in and click the right ones, and then when you send it, you guys would take it, and then it would grade it from there, right? Let me go back.
So can you scroll down?
To where?
Mine was right there somewhere.
Let me do this real quick. Give me just a second. See, last week it had a little spot that said answer key.
Click down. See mine?
Oh.
So it shows you which one's correct, but I can't think of how. At the very bottom.
You see, okay, here, this is the answer key here. Y'all see that?
But I don't know how.
It's not showing up on the other. I bet I know one. Okay, I bet I know one. Let me try this. Probably because it was a blank, not a necessity. That's what I'm thinking. Let me try another blank.
What about responsive, top of your question?
That's for all students.
So I think that's because it's assessed. Does that make sense? So what I just did.
Clicking on it in there?
Try again.
I can't ask, that's all I'm saying, but if you try like right clicking on. You get those answers?
Let's figure it out. So I'm right clicking. So go to assessment. That'd be the way to do it. So if you come here to the templates, that's what I was going to do anyway. Come to the templates, so this has got all kinds of stuff up here. Assessment, exit ticket, course evaluation, there's personal stuff you can do. I'm going to go to assessment. So the template, you know, it's already got it set up. So what you'll do, you know, I can do Chapter 11 test. Chapter 11 history test. If I wanted to do the name, I could do this, and I'll do that. I'll leave it. Email we don't need because I'm going to collect it. Delete this. It was bad in World War II. Let's say in Germany. And I'm going to delete these. And then here's answer key. So I go to answer key, and I can make the amount of points I want to be here. You know, if this is a 100 question, 100-point test, click off that. So your right answer is going to be green.
I like that you can even tell them what the
Yeah, you can do feedback
correct.
too.
You can tell them what the correct answer is and the explanation.
Yeah. Correct answer is, you gotta come to edit. So if they miss it, they can, obviously, and so this one right here is one of the drop-down questions, check boxes. But if you can change it to multiple choice. Let's follow. Does that make sense? So let's do this. I'm going to delete these. So now I go to preview, and this is what the test would look like as of right now. Okay, and if I sent that, again, I just go to send. The best way to do it would be copy, paste to the classroom. Got it? Any questions so far? Does anybody want to see what it looks like if you put in paragraphs or like short answer? Y'all want to see that?
Is there anything on the OpenStreetMap like that where they type in so many correct words that are keywords or whatever?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's.
I'm gonna say no. Be nice, but no.
Did you lie? So I can make this a short answer. And then if I came down here and did add a question, what was the worst thing? I'm going to go to paragraph. So you can't really do an answer key on here, but you can put a point value. And so if I went with this is what the test would look like. So they would, right here, they would type their answer in. If I submit that, submit it. So I missed that one, but you can't grade these. So these right here are awaiting my grade. Okay. So come here. Responses. If I come here to the spreadsheet, create a spreadsheet, this, you can kind of see what I've got. My grades pending based on these grades. But this is my multiple choice answer, and this is what was entered in for the short answer paragraph. Any questions about
about this. And something else I thought I was cool, and I use this some in my classroom. I use the exit ticket sometimes, and it already has a template on here. So, what you would do is you can send this to the students, and obviously you can edit these or you can add or whatever. Like, let's say you taught class on, I don't know, you taught class on what? Moon phases. Okay, so you can put like, you can kind of use these, you can tailor it towards your class. So, how about this one? What were the moon phases? What were the moon phases? And so, so what you can do, you can send that out to the kids, and they would have to answer these questions. And then that data would be in the spreadsheet that we just kind of looked at. So hey, you got to do this before you leave class. You could also, just like in the others, collect their email address, limit one response, restrict Marshall County Schools. We don't want to add after submit. So I've saved those in the settings to that. Does that make sense? So what I did here, show me else. Just a second. I made this part of that. We'll use that in a minute. Is there something else anybody wants to see? If you do a worksheet, I saw this one, I hadn't seen this one until today. Let's say you do a worksheet, like you have a worksheet for your class. You know, if it was me and I was going to be teaching that for a while, it might not be a bad idea to convert that worksheet to like a digital format. And so if you did the worksheet here, you know, you can put the worksheet title, copy it over, copy the instructions. You can tailor the questions based on the worksheet. So basically what you're doing is you're taking the worksheet and you're digitizing it. And so the kids can do the worksheet online, and then all those answers would be stored in the spreadsheet. Does that make sense? Everybody follow me? Any questions? So what I did, I keep clicking. So I made one for today, an exit ticket. I'll send it to them. Send it. Copy the link. So if I'm doing an assignment for my class, exit ticket. Exit ticket would be a DMS link. So we'll post it. You go ahead and do this. Click on the newest post. And go ahead and fill that out real quick. Actually, I sent you the wrong one. It's my fault.
Can you change those backgrounds too?
Don't do that one. Exit that one out. This is the one I've never forgot. Yes. So just go ahead and I'm going to delete that other post. Give me just a second. If you refresh, this will be the right one. That's it. And when this is submitted, I'm going to show you what the data looks like on the teacher. Because your end's the student end. This is exactly what the students will see. My end is the teacher. If you remember last week, we got a computer. Julie, what you can do is you can download a Google Classroom app, you can go use it through your phone, and you can take this on your phone. So you're refusing to participate.
Not really.
Go see Mr. Scott. All right? That's if you're gonna play that game.
Can I do it? Can I be late if late points taken off?
School's not for everybody.
Hey, on the,
I can get you the password.
what about the background? I know you can on the
Boom, it's right
general.
here.
I'm old, I can't read that, so.
Watch this.
Oh, yeah, like the box.
What shortcut you use?
How'd you do that?
I hit Control, and then I hit scroll wheel.
Wow.
So, or you could have just went here.
I zoom it, that's what I usually do, but if I catch it, I'm not sure.
I guess
On the
by doing that,
form.
I'm just showing you what
All of a sudden scroll, no, I'm all there.
Town, you got all this?
I'm getting there, man.
Okay. You look lost.
Oh, no, I'm just typing away, buddy.
Hey, I know you can, change the background on the home page, but what about the forms? Is it the same way?
Let me look. I think so. Yeah, you can. You can do it. So like these templates already have kind of built-in backgrounds.
Yeah?
You can change the color. Or you can go here and you can insert a picture. You can insert some of these that are already on.
Yeah.
You do that for your
And can you
test.
print these tests?
What?
Can you print it?
You can print off the Excel,
You can print the data off. I think you can print this off. I have to look.
Like if you needed to submit a copy to your principal or something of your semester test that you were given on it? Or you just share the doc with them,
The best way would just be to share it.
the document?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to sound like smart aleck, but the goal of this and the classroom and all that is to go completely.
Paperless.
And so by printing it, you're losing the point. So what I would do is I would send them that. This is something else I learned. I mean, and I'm not just talking off experience, but kid goes to ISS or whatever. Okay, well, we got a test, or we got an assignment, we got research. It's so easy to say, hey, you know, send Miss Pilkington, whoever, an email and say, hey, assignment's posted on your classroom. Take your test. I'm gonna post the test at this time. You can take it at that time. You don't have to send anything down there. And all you gotta do is go to your data sheet to see if they took it. You know what I mean? It just makes it easier. There's one less step involved. I don't have to go down to the copy machine and copy 40 things to send to ISS. It's just another step away. I'm coming here to responses. So here you see the emails, and so what I can do is I can click on the email. Let's see what Towns is quit typing away, so let's see what he. The Matthew Towns. All right. So you can see here what they put. So individual will be here. Towns will pass this aside, but he's still failing. So you can go to individuals. You can scroll through like this. So this is a good thing about catching the email. If they're in the domain, it's going to catch it. All right. If they use like a Gmail or something like that, not within the Marshall County domain, like a personal Gmail, you can still collect it. Well, actually you can't because it's going to collect the sign-in. But this is if you don't want like mom taking it home or something like that, you can just do this. But let me show you something else. It still doesn't eliminate that. So I've had a lot of stuff happen when I've done it like this. So let's say you've got, okay, so if I come here to my spreadsheet, here's the timestamp. So obviously they're on the day. The times are within a few minutes of each other. But let's say I've got, example, I've got Towns in here, and he pretends to take it. Then he goes home, and the link's still on there, and mom takes it, right? So when I come on here, if I don't do my due diligence and come here to the sheet, because if that happened, if he took it tonight, obviously the time's going to be like, 20 something. And so he's taking it 6 or 7 hours after we took it. You know what I mean? So that raises a red flag. And I can say, hey, you haven't done it. I can say, hey, how'd you do on your test? I did great. I said, did you take it at home? No. Why'd you take it at 8 o'clock last night? And so That happened many times in my class. So if you're not, so what I would do, this is how I did it. If this was a test, after they took the test, I would delete the link off Google Classroom. Okay? It does not delete your, let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I delete this post right here, it does not delete the actual form. It only deletes the link to the form. If I had, so let's say Towns missed class or something. Well, the next day, the best thing for me to do would be to go to send, and just email it to him directly and say, hey, do this right now. And I know when he's doing it. Does that make sense? So here's your data sheet, and obviously you can export that to Word or use it in Sheets or whatever you got to do.
Mr. Professor, can you set a timer on these tests?
No.
In Google Classroom you can.
Best thing to do, if you can, I'm not aware of it. But the best thing that I've learned is to just, can you?
In Google Classroom you can.
Let me look. You mean a timer to post them?
No, like,
It, both ways.
that it is only available from
Let's look. I
a
don't
certain
know.
date to a date.
I know you
Well, I
can
know
set a
you can,
timer.
like, the availability of it, you can have it cut off at 3 o'clock and they can't do it. But like, could you say, I want them to not be able to take any more than 30 minutes on this
Let's
test?
look.
So that when it opens it up, 30 minutes it shuts down and the day is done.
Let's see. I'll have to do that some. Okay, so what I can do is I can save a draft where like I can go ahead and get ready to post, but I don't post it, I just have it saved so that way I can just click back later, just hit send, or I can schedule this to be posted. Let's say fourth block's gonna take at 11 o'clock. I can have this automatically generate at 11. And I can schedule that post, and then that post will hit at 11.
But
As far
it
as
won't close
deleting,
out like 30 minutes
don't
after
think
you
so.
log in.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's where you're gonna have to just go in and delete it.
Okay, what about, I have some higher functioning students that would be slick enough at the top of the computer to open a tab and go to the internet and look up an answer and then come back and answer the question really quick. So,
That's gonna be
Can
on
you-
your monitoring. And so when I did this in Gaston, I had a screen monitoring program because they all had laptops. And so I would have that going. And I would sometimes just turn it just to remind them that I could do that. And so I didn't usually have a lot of that. But also when they tested, I would also kind of monitor. You know what I mean? If you see a tab, and I would tell them, if you've got any tab open other than the one you're taking the test on, it's a 0. And you don't get a lot of that going on. If you're walking around, now I know we don't have screen monitor here. If you're walking around and you're looking, they're gonna be scared to try it. And all you gotta do is catch 1 or 2, make a big deal of it, and it'll stop. Now, if you're just sitting behind your desk like this,
might be a
you're not doing your
possibility.
due diligence. Does that make sense? And I'm
Plagiarism
not trying to
detection
put all the blame
discussion.
on you, but with the technology to do this comes the shortfalls. We have to do the best we can. That's all.
Is there plagiarism detection on discussion or the SO?
We're just gonna roll. No, but the best option would be if you got something suspicious, I'd copy and paste it, post it to Google link.
Okay.
Miss Bryant's had a case with one of my EL students.
Oh, yeah?
It was worded, I love the way it fumbles me. But he used Google Translate, and in Spanish it meant like this, like being affectionate, not
I'm not gonna say anything on that.
And we are video, by the way.
We are attorneys.
That was Miss Cruz.
Yeah.
Isabel Cruz.
well, it's the real situation.
I mean, anybody that's teaching a class knows if they've got a written response from a kid that can barely form a sentence, and they've just got this magical poetry, you know, red flag.
That's why she pasted it in
Yeah.
Google Classroom and she couldn't find it, and then he told me, well, I used Google Translate. And that's what I thought.
So, is it gonna do everything? No.
About that.
But it's gonna do a lot, and we can use a lot of that to our advantage. So, I'm about to wrap it up, I promise.
How much is the monitoring system that you had? Was that something
That
that
was
your
in
whole
the-
school had?
Upper echelon,
That was, we went to a technology conference and it could have dropped, but at one time it was like $2,000 a year.
I mean, in an ideal situation, you got that. You don't. So we gotta do this.
That might be
I mean,
something
just
good
think
for
about it,
title
if you're gonna have to
money.
use this next year, that might be something to think about.
If it was a site license.
We're not gonna spend it on paper anymore.
So let me show you this, like, as you do these,
True, good point.
you can, as you do these, they'll accumulate. So let's say you're doing chapter 2 history test, chapter 3 history test, well, they'll still be there. And so at the end, when you're done with the year, you got all your tests on there. It's, next year comes around, it's really easy to use those, or if you want to make a few modifications, it's really easy to go in there and add a question or change something. The way I did it, I taught 3 subjects. I taught U.S. History 2, I taught government, I taught economics. So I had, 30 tests. Well, I had them all printed out and I had them in PDFs. The thing is if you want to update those tests or make changes, you've got to start from ground one and you got to take everything off. If you've got them on here, it's really easy to just go add a question, edit something. And you don't have to go back and, make, to make 3, you got 3 spelling errors or something. You don't have to throw the test out, redo it, reprint it, make 40 copies. So, any questions about Google Forms? If you've got any questions that come up, during the week or any time, just let me know, and I don't care to stop by and help you, show you how to do it, create it. All right. Nothing else? Y'all have a wonderful day.